Have you ever wondered what it was really like in the moments before the world plunged into its deadliest conflict? We often look back at World War II with the clarity of hindsight, knowing exactly how it all played out. But in 1939, for the millions of people living through it, the future was a terrifying unknown. The air was thick with tension, a storm was brewing, and everyone could feel it. The aggressive expansion of Nazi Germany under Hitler had already redrawn the map of Europe. Austria had been annexed, Czechoslovakia had been carved up. The world held its breath, hoping, praying, that diplomacy would prevail. Leaders like British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain had famously returned from Munich in 1938, waving a piece of paper and promising peace for our time. But this peace was fragile, built on appeasement and a desperate hope that Hitler's ambitions had been satisfied. They hadn't. His sights were now set on Poland, specifically the Polish Corridor, a strip of land that separated East Prussia from the rest of Germany. Hitler demanded its return, fabricating claims of Polish aggression against ethnic Germans to justify his next move. The warnings were everywhere. Newspapers were filled with anxious headlines. Diplomats raced between capitals. Alliances were being solidified. Britain and France, finally realizing that appeasement had failed, pledged to defend Poland's independence. But would they? Could they? For the average person, life went on, but with a growing sense of dread. Families listened to the radio, huddled together, trying to decipher the news, wondering if their sons and husbands would soon be called to fight. Then, in the pre-dawn hours of September 1st, 1939, the world's worst fears were realized. Without a formal declaration of war, German forces stormed across the Polish border. The invasion was a terrifying display of a new kind of warfare, the Blitzkrieg or Lightning War. It was a brutal, coordinated assault. Luftwaffe planes bombed cities, airfields, and railways, sowing chaos and terror from the sky. Panzer tanks smashed through Polish defenses, their speed and power overwhelming the defenders. Infantry followed, relentless and methodical. The Polish army, though brave and determined, was tragically outmatched. They fought fiercely, with cavalry charges against tanks in a desperate, heroic, but ultimately futile struggle. They were fighting a war of the past against an enemy from the future. The world watched in horror. The ultimatums from Britain and France to Germany were clear: withdraw from Poland, or a state of war will exist between us. The deadline came and went. There was no reply from Berlin. On September 3rd, Chamberlain, the man who had promised peace, broadcast a somber message to the British people and the world. His voice, heavy with disappointment and resolve, announced that Britain was now at war with Germany. France followed suit. The spark that had been ignited in Poland had now erupted into a global fire. The Second World War had begun. The speed of it all was shocking. In less than a month, Poland was crushed, partitioned between Germany and the Soviet Union, who had invaded from the east as part of a secret pact. The phony war began in the west, a tense quiet before the storm truly broke over Europe. It's a powerful reminder of how quickly peace can vanish and how the decisions of a few can plunge millions into darkness.